We have never actively targeted the dollar. That's not part of either our economic policy or our political or our strategic policy. Some others may have. What I will tell you is a natural concern we have.
Okay.
We often have trade partners who do not have dollars to trade. Okay. So we now have to look at whether we forego dealings with them or do we find some settlement which works otherwise. So there's no I can say malicious intent vis-a-vis the dollar in doing this. We're trying to do our business. Sometimes you make it difficult, in the use of dollars. So we have some trade partners with whom trade in dollars becomes difficult because of your policies. So we have to obviously look for workarounds. But for us, again, look, as we spoke about rebalancing, we spoke about multipolarity. Obviously, all of this is also going to reflect on currencies and economic dealings. So it is the era of American dominance is also an era of dollar dominance, an era of a certain hedging and a certain spread. Other factors will come into play. I mean that it will be more competitive, even in currencies. Today, if you were to look at any big global issue, it's important to have to carry other countries along, and that to me is an indication of how the world has changed, how much more multipolar it's become. It's not just become more multipolar; it's also become more regional. And that's a subset of that multipolarity. That you would have problems where you would often leave it to the countries of the region because the ability of the major powers to get involved in everything is less. The US is a very natural partner. There may be issues where the US may not, and some other set of countries may be. So how do you, and as you get bigger, interestingly, your agenda increases, so the need for partners also grow. There is no question that the United States still has a very unique position in the world order. For reasons of polemics or mind games or posturing, people may suggest otherwise, but even the people who suggest otherwise know the truth. In terms of our own relationship with China, I think it's a long story, but the short version is that we had agreements on how to keep the border peaceful and tranquil, and those agreements were violated by China in 2020. And because we have forward deployments of our militaries, there are resulting tensions. And until those forward deployments are addressed, the tensions would continue. If the tensions continue, it casts a natural shadow over the rest of the relationship. So our relationship hasn't been great for the last 4 years. I think it would be right to start off with October 7th. We regard October 7th as a terrorist attack. We understand that Israel had a need to respond. But we also believe that any response by any country has to take into account international humanitarian law, that it must be careful about any damage or any implications for civilian populations. And that given what has happened in Gaza, it is important to have some kind of international humanitarian effort out there. And we are very much concerned at the possibility of a broadening of the conflict, not just what happened in Lebanon, but also, I referred earlier to the Houthis and the Red Sea. And, to some extent, anything that happens between Iran and Israel. So I would say today there is a huge, when we do these Global South summits, we've done 3 of them so far. The Global South is extremely concerned about new factors of stress, tension, anxiety, more pressures on the system because they are at the bottom of the chain. I'm part of them. We feel the pain. So I do think today people want, they want reassurance, they want stability.